All right. Welcome to Oxford Plains Raceway, where we'll be running the late models here for the Lobster Bake 50 United States Racing League Association. They will be running 50 laps at the Oxford Plains Raceway. Current track temperatures 121. Earlier today, the legends were 73 degrees, so a huge change. Very slick track, so this will definitely be interesting, as we have currently out on the track right now our qualifiers with 3 minutes remaining in qualification. You see on the left side of your screen there, the leader currently Jeremy Weber, followed by Eric Sellers, David Trumley, Kevin Blackburn, and Braden Nagel. The Dunwoody brothers Bradley Wiseman and Brian Sharp have yet to put in times. Check on Jeremy Dunwoody here, see how he does on his laps. Jeremy Dunwoody putting in the second fastest time on his first lap there. So Jeremy and Jeremy on the top of the leaderboard. '96 machine of David Trumley, second fastest in practice. Looking there completely here with less than a minute left, the Jeremys are still on the top of the leaderboard here. David's last lap 16:04 puts him in the 5th position. Okay, 18 seconds and then we'll be getting ready to run here. Two of our 9 cars have not put in times. Looks like all of our drivers except for Fish has returned from the Legends race. So we have 9. There we had 10 earlier in the Legends. So let's go ahead and pull up our grid. Grid brought to you by Black Magic Designs. Looking for a iRacing scheme for your next race? Get with Black Magic Designs. Give him an idea. He'll put it up on your car, make you look good, and to be the envy of other drivers in iRacing. Black Magic Designs. Check out David Dunwoody and the guys over there design you the car that you want to race on iRacing. Inside pole, Jeremy Weber 15.869. Outside, Jeremy Weber 16.148. Kevin Blackburn in 3rd position, 77. Eric Sellers in the 4th position, 97 car. David Trumley inside row 3. And outside of him is Braden Nagel. Inside row 4, David Dunwoody. In 8th position, Brian Sharp in the 25 machine. And leading the back, Bradley Wiseman in the 39 machine. There's our current grid Brought to you by Black Magic Designs. Guys are doing their parade laps as they're behind the pace truck, waiting for the pace truck to get out of the way so we can have the start to the second half of our night with the late models here. You see the 11 Loxy machine of Jeremy Weber on that pole. Outside of him is the 13 Black Magic Design Monte Carlo SS of Jeremy Dunwoody, and they will be leading us to the green flag as we start off this race. And the green flag is in the air. Green flag, green, green, green as we go into turn number 1. It is the 11 machine followed by that 13 machine as everybody starts to single file out. Jeremy Weber is leading the field as we take the green as we finish lap 1. Your leader, Jeremy Weber, followed by Jeremy Dunwoody a second behind him. Let's check over here the 97 machine and see how they have a battle going on for second between the 97 of Eric Sellers as the yellow flag is out. We will go ahead and check for our replay. All right, it looks like we have found what has happened. Looks like the 77 machine had a little bit of a contact. So look at the 77 here. 77 gets spun around by the 96 machine. And he turns it around and looks like he's going to try to find his way back to pit lane. The number 77 machine of Kevin Blackburn. Do have fast repairs here. I'm not sure how many there were, and I'd look at, but it looks like he will be able to make those repairs. 77 has not yet taken his repairs because as we're going back to live racing. Caution pace laps are still going on here. Looking for that pace truck to break out of the field here. 5 laps finished. We're on lap number 6. Pace truck down low. 11 goes, catches the green flag in the air. Big crossover move there. Looks like the 96 going below the 10 machine. 13 regulated high. The 97 down below. Looks for the 96 machine also to pass the 13 here. Give that position to David Trumley. And there we go. Jeremy Weber is definitely pushing the field again. That 28 machine down, looking underneath that 13 machine. And the number 10 of Braden Nagel looking underneath as well. 13 is basically being freight trained low while the tires are actually working for them. Jeremy Weber, a 15.970. I believe that was actually faster than his qualifying time. His qualifying time was 15.8, so not really there. The number 10 machine looking underneath 13 to 28, trying to clear the 13 machine. It looks like he will this lap. This is our tightest part of the race here between these 3 cars, and looks like Brian Sharp in the 25 machine is the 4th car in this group. As you see, the 77 and the 39 coming into the frame at the tail end of the lap. The 77 has not elected to get damage repaired just yet. Jeremy Weber facing the field, a 1.8 second lead over Eric Sellers in the 97 machine. And then another gap there, almost a second back to David Trumley, which is that small pack of cars we were looking at with Trumley and Dunwoody, the 96 and the 28 car. Because we're on board with David Dunwoody here. Right behind David Trumley. Looks like they're actually starting to reel back in Eric Sellers, which is there in front of them. So this is the battle for third, with second place just above them as we were completing 15 of the 50 advertised. And looks like Dunwoody's looking underneath the 96. Will he make the turn here? Looks like he's going to make that move right here. Give David Dunwoody the spot. Leader 3-second lead over the 97 machine as he's starting to catch up to lap traffic. On board with Jeremy Weber as he's starting to check up on the 13 machine. Coming onto the backstretch, entering turn 3 and 4 here. Coming to the stripe. We're now working lap 20. You see the change in camber of the track in the turns. Get out of that groove, it kind of tapers away. Instead of having the bank helping, it kind of helps you away from the track. So Jeremy Weber getting closer to the inside line. Like 13 is going extremely high on that lap as he cuts it back down. 13 is going way high at the flag stand. The number 11's patiently looking for a room to make the pass. 13 comes back on down. Everyone is on the lead lap. Right now the 13 is in the possibility of going down one lap here, as the 11 car does make the pass here. Give 11 the position over to the 13 as they're coming to the stripe. 13 is a lap down. The 39 is now in the crosshairs of that 11. So now there are two cars a lap down as the 11 machine continues to pace the field over David Dunwoody at 5 seconds. It's like Trumley and Dunwoody are in Sellers. All three of them are relatively close. It could be anyone's race based on tire management. The Brian Sharp here, the 25 and the 10 and the 77, the little gaggle right here. Like they're about 3.5 seconds ahead of our race leader. So they're the next group of drivers that look like they might, ooh, a little contact between the 25 and the 10 there. As Brian Sharp is looking for a way to get around. Whoa! As we're on board with Brian Sharp, he gets a little sideways as the 77 takes advantage and goes around him. So we're on board with Brian Sharp's number 25 machine in the 7th spot. See the damage on the Skull Bandit 77 of Kevin Blackburn. Oh, the 10 catches the curb and goes sideways. So these guys are battling pretty hard for that 5th spot as our leader is starting to catch them. See our leader here, Jeremy Weber, 5-second lead over David Dunwoody. Was he starting to catch that group of guys up there? See our 3-car gaggle and our race leader starting to catch up to them. Completed 30 of 50 at the line. So 20 more laps in this event. Very hot track. The 11 has found its way around the 77, putting him down a lap. The 25 is the next. David Dunwoody has caught him a little bit, 3/10 based on him going through this lap traffic. 25 regulates high to allow the leader to go by. And then number 10 of Braden Nagel is now on his outside as the 11 continues to pace the field. Here's a 10 on the outside. Looks like the number 25 looking to go around him low. That group of 3 there with Braden Nagel in the middle. Go back to these guys. Oh, there's a little contact with the 77. And I believe that was the 10 of Braden Nagel. Braden is way high off the groove here. Continues to go. 77 finds his way around. The 13 coming up on him. Hey, 35 laps to have been completed. We'll be catching another 16 laps to finish the race here. Check in on David Dunwoody. He's starting to get through lap traffic as well. On board with David as he's catching up to his brother Jeremy, who's a lap down. Caught that groove, that inside curbing. David had to go back to a backup car from practice. Cracked a oil pan on one of those curves, so he knows they are a little bit dangerous, could take out an engine. So he's in that backup vehicle. He's looking for a way to get around that 13 so he can continue to work his way back up through the field. He's now within 4 seconds of Jeremy Weber, our leader. Met the Jeremy Weber, that 11 machine. Like he's now put Bradley Wiseman, number 39, down 2 laps. Looks like Braden Nagel has put himself into pit lane. But he may not even be on in the system currently. We go back to Jeremy Weber. Jeremy Weber only 4.3 now above David Dunwoody, as we are 10 laps remaining in the race, 10 laps left. Being like the 97 may be the next car to be lapped by our race leader. There's the 97 starting to look at the 39. 97 getting a little bit off that groove. Gets it back up. 11 you can now see is coming into view. 97 inside of 39 as the 39 just rolls and lets him go. See the 11 right there in the picture on the same straightaway as the 97. Come to the flag stand, leading 43 laps. Here's Jeremy Weber, our leader, on lap 44. Really making it look easy here, that Jeremy Weber is. Looking to pass the 39, pass him on the inside. We're tracking lap 45 of 50. Will be 5 to go as we get to the stripe this lap. 5 to go to Jeremy Weber. 5 to go. And David Dunwoody dealing with the lap traffic there. See the 77 and the number 25 car battling for their positions. Give the 6th position to the 5th position to the number 77 of Kevin Blackburn. He's the first car a lap down with that significant damage. 4 laps to go. Jeremy Weber still your leader, 3.5 second lead. As Jeremy Weber is catching the number 97 machine of Eric Sellers, who's just under 2 seconds ahead of our race leader. 2 laps to go. He'll be looking for that white flag to be high in the air as he comes to catch the white flag across the stripe here. And in the air, white flag for Jeremy Weber. Next time by, he will be looking for that checkered flag waving high on the backstretch, looking at the 97. 11 looks to go low. 11 is going to be there. Will he have enough to get by him? Probably not. There is the checkered flag. Checkered flag for the number 11 machine of Jeremy Weber for a back-to-back. The number 11 back-to-back wins today. For the Lobster Bake 50. USRLA Lobster Bake. Lobster Bake 50. We go and we'll check out our cars here. The 3 drivers here go together. Burn them down here. Our race results brought to you by Travel with an Angel, putting joy back into your vacations. Travel with an Angel is a nonprofit organization that helps special needs families by providing special needs assistance, sometimes caregivers, and other things that they may need while they're on vacation. They have travel partners with LottieTravelWorld.com, a dream vacations franchise. If you work with Travel with an Angel or LottieTravelWorld.com, Travel with an Angel will be part of the proceeds to help with a special needs family while they're on vacation. Your winner is Jeremy Weber in the 11 machine, followed by David Dunwoody in the 28. David Trumley, 96 in third, 97 Eric Sellers in fourth. The 5th position, 77 Kevin Blackburn. 6th place, 25 Brian Sharp. Jeremy Dunwoody in the 13 machine comes in 7th. Bradley Weissman in the 39, 8th. And Braden Nagel in the 10 is 9th, rounding it out. Let's see if we can catch up with some of our drivers and talk to them about their races. Look at for David Trumley, hopefully be our first here. Be looking for David Trumley in his machine. So we'll try to get a hold of David Trumley. And David, glad to get with you here. You have a podium finish here in the 2nd race at Oxford Plains in the late model car. How was things out there on the track for those 50 laps?
Things went a lot better than I expected. I only first drove this track a couple weeks ago, and it's a pretty tough track.
It seemed that in the Legends, at least, that they were kind of just keeping the car about 10 degrees on the, or 10 o'clock position on the car, on the steering wheel, and just kind of letting it out there. Was it about the same in the late model, or did you have to actually wheel it some more?
With these late models, I'm still learning these cars, honestly. You got to turn the steering wheel like the whole race, it seemed like.
Yeah. It definitely a lot of fun, it looked like out there. I mean, you have a little bit of damage when you finish the race here, but not too much. And you did keep it all together for 3rd place position. So it's a good run. And hopefully you keep continuing to improve your position. Maybe you get up a 2nd or a 1st place here.
You had a great run tonight.
All right. Would you like to thank anybody, David? I see a few things on your car.
I just want to say thanks to all my my followers here on my my Facebook page. I'm streaming right now, and I just hit 250 followers today.
Well, maybe you can help us out a little bit. We're trying to get our level up so we can have better racing, because you know how it goes 720 until you get the level up. So we're looking for level up status as well. So if you can kick some of the people over to One to Go Studios, we were hosting USRLA. We'll be hosting a couple other events. And we do work with Roush Performance Esports. They actually have a race coming up actually 2 days, Wednesday night at Crandon with a few of the professional drivers. So maybe you guys get a chance to check us all out.
Yeah, I'll start sharing some of the broadcasts on my page, man.
That would be great. We really appreciate it, David. Good luck in next week with the Legend Machine, and hopefully we'll start seeing and talking to you some more.
Sounds good. Hopefully I can talk to you again next week.
All right, David. Take care. All right, looks like we'll be able to get with the second place machine of David Dunwoody. David Dunwoody, 2-2, right?
And 2-2 and 2-2 from last week.
So
four second place finishes for the season.
One of these times somebody will do something and you'll be able to finish it up. But it looks like you got a little bit of nose damage on that car. What happened?
Well, they're on lap 1 or 2, the 77, and that Kevin Blackburn, he got turned around there on the start, and I got into him. And then about 10 to go, I got into Blackburn again. I want to apologize for that. I was actually running Weber down, looking at the lap times, and just didn't want to move him like that. But he said he was giving me the bottom, so I feel bad about it. But I did get into him a little hard.
Okay. Well, sometimes these tracks, it's the only way to get around people. So I was actually surprised that on that caution laps that nobody actually elected to take the fast repair, or did we have that off for this race?
No, there was a fast repair. Yeah, I was kind of surprised nobody went down. They could have just pitted, not even put tires on, and not lost a lap.
Right. Well, I guess they chose not to, and trying to see if we can talk to anyone else. Looks like Jeremy had to leave because I don't see him anywhere. He must have got up in the hauler and really hauled out of here.
Yeah, he said he had to run.
Okay, well, I mean, that's 2 for 2 for him in the number 1 spots. Actually, it'd be 3 in a row, if I'm not mistaken.
3 in a row. And we do have something that I haven't told anybody yet, but we do have a bounty if he gets to 5 in a row.
Oh, so he's getting close, right?
We do have a bounty if he gets to 5 in a row, and that'll be for both Legends and late models.
Okay, and I think earlier you were telling me something about changing some of the format a little bit to make it a little bit harder as well.
Correct. So after the Chili Bowl next week, because we do have that special race with the Legends, and then we go to Rockingham next week with the late models. That'll be the first. That'll be like, it's kind of like bowling, where you get 3 weeks to set your average. So that sets your average, basically. That'll set the points line up. Then we'll restart reverse points order. So the point leader, probably Jeremy Weber, will be starting dead last. Unless we get cars that haven't raced before, then they go behind the points leader.
Okay, that makes sense. It's kind of like reminiscence when I used to actually drive. I'm a little bit older, just turned 50. So when I raced as a young man, we had reverse fields. So you would actually go out and pull. And if you actually were the pole sitter when you did the qualifying, you would be in the back. And for 25 lap heat races, wasn't a desired place. And if you remember, the whole sandbag term came from racing, where people would put sandbags to weight their car down to go slower and then take them out during the race. Problem was, if you actually went faster in the race than you did in qualification, you would receive an immediate black flag. So
that's also when they started weighing the car before the race and after qualifying.
Well, I mean, I raced nothing as big as a late model. I raced other cars that they didn't weigh us. None of that stuff, but they definitely were keeping a track of how fast you were in qualifying and how fast you were when you were racing. I said, I remember a long time ago with all that stuff, racing Galesburg and Michigan, doing the reverse fields. So the reverse fields are fun. This is 50 laps, so he'll have an opportunity to get through the field. Be kind of interesting in a 20 lap feature, or 20 lap heat race to see how he would do in a reverse order, though. This
is true. Well, next week's gonna be really interesting at the Chili Bowl also, because we are gonna run heat races in the Legends.
Okay.
So there'll be 2 8 car transfer features or heat races of 8 laps, and then we'll go to the 30 or 40 lap main to see who wins it all.
Oh, okay. That would be very interesting to see. The Chili Bowl is an interesting track. It's a dirt indoor track, so that would be quite interesting at this time of year. I did notice, though, that the weather we had for the second race here at Oxford Plains was 123 degrees on the racetrack, so it must have been pretty greasy out there.
It was definitely a little greasy getting into the corner, especially with the light fuel load, because we did lighten the fuel load up for this race. kind of like we did last week, but we went a little bit more aggressive because we had still had way too much fuel.
Okay, well, we'll try to see how you guys pan next week. You already said we have the Chili Bowl with the Legends, which is interesting because the car doesn't react exactly as a Dirt Legends would, even though we are using the Dirt Legends. And then going to Rockingham with the late models, which is a pretty wide open track for the late models for the most part. It's pretty big size, but it does have the uniqueness of the North Carolina Rockingham sandpaper track with the definitely different bankings throughout the facility. So it was definitely a difficult track even in the NASCAR days, but it's always good to see a race there. I've seen quite a few at the Rockingham is a great place to watch a race.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. You could say I was inspired because the car store are actually going there this year. It's on the schedule for the what are they called? The real life late models. They're going to Rockingham for the first time this year.
oh, that's great because I said I was at the last the last championship week for the K&N series that was there with the super late models, and the late models were all there. They did all three of their championships in one weekend. It was a great time. Got to meet Kyle Larson and a few of the other up and coming guys. I had already met Chase Elliott before at South Alabama Speedway. But of course, we ran into him again there. Have friends of mine that are scorers at South Alabama. So, these short tracks are great. I love them. But Rockingham, definitely a lot of fun to watch late models get around and these guys. So it'll be interesting to see how you guys do. Need to get some recruiting up so we get these a little bit bigger here. And as I've told people earlier today, if you're on Facebook, please follow us so we can increase the bandwidth that we're allotted. Facebook locks us to 720. The progression is our limit to our feed at 30 frames per second. It'll double to 60 and 1080 after we receive 100 followers. So if you could do us a favor and share to your friends, talk to us about it. If you like what we're doing, help us out. I appreciate it. David, we appreciate everything you and Black Magic and guys are doing. Hopefully you'll get some more work. You and I both have a race later this week. I already talked about it, the Roush Performance Esports at Crandon with the Pro 4 trucks on Wednesday night. So if you haven't had a chance to go over there, check out Roush Performance Esports. I will be driving the 01 machine as the in-race reporter. And my sister ship happens to be the one you're driving, David.
Yeah, I'll be in probably the 128 is that I think they'll put me in. It looks just like your truck, got some different logos on it. I did my truck for, I think you said his name was Daniel, with all his logos on it.
Daniel Sabota, and Daniel is the creator of Imagifriends, and that's what you have on your car. He's a autism advocate. He's a young man in his 30s now that has autism, and so does my daughter. So I am a special needs pastor. I've dealt with David and his mom, and he creates these mosaic characters that he calls Imagifriends. And I have the dinosaur who sees things differently on my car. You have Love, Hope, and the Superstar on the hood of your car. So, I mean, it's a big shout out to David. I'd love to get to talking to him. Hopefully we can get to talk a little bit more about him on Wednesday night with one of our two cars getting a little bit of, notoriety. Hopefully we can put the things close to a podium or maybe better. We're gonna have a lot of people to work around, though. I mean, we have professional drivers in that race, so it'll be interesting.
It's gonna be fun. I put that Superstar on the hood to let them fly on their trucks with those big jumps at Crandon. It's gonna be fun.
That's gonna be a blast. Those guys are used to. Because I've been practicing with them. They're normally road racers. Joey Atterbury, one of the bigger names, as well as Jack Roush Jr. will be on the racetrack with us. A few other road names that are out there. Oh man, my tongue gets tied when I start talking. I mean, I'm out there and I know who they are. But
Yeah.
but they have a lot of fun. But we have a lot of returning iRacing road racers that race the GT3 cars with them in their main series that they just completed a little while ago. And if you have people that don't know this, Roush Performance Esports, they gave away a almost a $2,000 race seat, 4 Continental tires, some really cool trophies, coins, some other ins and outs. If I remember right, I can't remember everything we gave them, but it wasn't a charge. You know, most of these special races have a charge to them, and the Haggerty insurance company and Continental Tires have been providing this, and I think we have General Tires on for the Pro 4 truck.
And there's 3 of these races, Harold.
Oh yeah,
one at each track.
Crandon. 2 weeks later, I believe we're at Wild Horse or Wild West, and then Wild Horse will be at the end. 30 cars are going to be at Crandon. I'm excited for that. 30 trucks.
I'm excited for the Land Rush. Send it into the first corner start.
It's going to be interesting because, like I said, I've raced with some of these guys, and they're pretty aggressive. I don't think Joey Atterbury is going to lift going anywhere near until he gets around to that first 180 turn. No, he ain't gonna lift until we get to the 180 coming past pit entry.
Oh yeah,
he's like,
and
put his
there's
foot
gonna
in
be
it.
people upside down. There's gonna be people upside down in turn 1. I can almost guarantee it.
Oh, in one of our practice land rushes that we did, I was put on my hood, so it doesn't take much because you got the car completely turned sideways trying to make the turn, and if somebody taps you, you're probably going to end up turning on your head. So
and these things are full fender, not they don't care. They're just going to go in the corner and lean on each other.
Oh yeah, there's going to be a lot of work around. Hey David, though, we look forward to next week of the Chili Bowl.
I'm winning that thing.
Okay, and then Rockingham, and it's kind of cool. We've been doing, you and I have been working on some stuff, and we'll continue to change the way we look. Got some more things up our sleeve, and hopefully we get some more people coming out. You can, if I'm thinking you're still asking for more drivers, right? They can.
Oh yeah, definitely. We have it set up to take up to 16 drivers to the feature, but we give out points to anybody who shows up. So even if you don't make the race, if you don't qualify in, you still score points.
And I think we were also talking about giving turn marshals basically, or race officials, like, so they can, if they don't make the event, they can actually help out with race control and get some extra points that way. Correct?
That is out there. See if anybody volunteers for that. If we get that many cars, I would love to see a 16 car field, either at the Chili Bowl or coming up at the road courses. Like, if you could get Joey to come on in here for the road course, I think that'd be fun too. I've seen some of these pro road race drivers at the 2 road course races we got on the schedule this year.
You know, I might have to ask Joey about doing the Legends road course. Maybe Pocono, which is one of my favorite with you guys.
There is 2 of them on there, 2 Pocono road courses.
And I'm not sure if he's driven either one of them now that he's living on the East Coast or West Coast. I'm sorry, he lives in Seattle.
So it's fair. So it's fair.
If you draw, I tell you what, right now, one thing about Joey Atterbury, if you put up New Jersey Motorsports Park and you invite him, you might as well just forget about it, because the man has been there a million times and has quite a few trophies from there. So it's like, I wouldn't be inviting him to Motorsports Park, that's for sure. But there are other tracks that he does need to dial in. He does have contacts, connections, and such, but it'd be interesting to see how we'll fare with these guys, because they don't run dirt, and these rally races are not their forte, but they are drivers, professional athletes, and it's interesting to. And I think Jeremy Weber was talking about it earlier, that isn't it cool that we can actually mix it up with guys that do this stuff for a living, you know?
Oh right, it's crazy. It's crazy that you get in here and you could be once you get a high enough license and an I rating, you could be racing with anybody in the world. Dale Jr., Travis Pastrana, Hermie Sadler, and anybody.
Oh yeah, Chad Canals. Yeah, I was gonna say
Chad, yeah.
I've been on there with Chad Canals several times. I raced with Carl Edwards in the NASCAR 2003 series. Papyrus Racing. I've raced with Martin Truex Jr., Jail
And
Jr. himself. It's just
and just because
amazing.
these guys are NASCAR guys doesn't mean that's all they run. That they run IndyCar, they run anything. Ron Capps runs anything.
Oh, Ron Capps, the dragster. He participates in a league that I've been race control with, and Ron Capps, he's a hoot. He's a really clean driver, a lot of fun to be around. Doesn't get upset about things. Doesn't expect to win either. He gets there and mixes it up. The last race I race controlled for them was the Legacy Phoenix Street Stocks, and they were bouncing and banging everybody. I think Kyle Busch was in there as well. They've had Mario Andretti with them. So they have quite a few guys that's there. But like I said, it's cool that we can actually do this. Hopefully with the vaccine being out, we'll actually get to some real racing and some fans in the stands. But I would just like to thank you again for putting this together, and maybe we get some more people out here and continue to advance forward. So this is Harold Darner, One to Go Studios, hosting the USRLA, United States Racing League Association, with their back-to-back doubleheader of the USRLA Lobster Bake 50 at Oxford Plains. As David said earlier, you come back and meet with us 9 o'clock. Actually, was it 9:25 is when we're going to start broadcasting?
9:25 is when the green flag is in qualifying starts.
Yep.
And then the race starts right after.
So 9:25 is qualifying, 9:30 race start for the Legends at the Chili Bowl. We'll have heat races and then the feature, and then we'll follow that up at the 10:30 event for the late models at Rockingham. Come back, don't miss it. Either catch us on YouTube or Facebook. Don't forget to follow us. I'm Harold Darner. You have a good night.